Xin chào, tên của em là Christie Pham. Being an Asian American, my parents are very hard on their kids. They always wanted us to do better. They always had like this set goal for us that even though we didn't agree with some of their goals, so everything was kind of planned out for us and we had to follow the layout. But being who I am, I followed the layout, but I tweak here and there. But studying and doing school, it's always been a #1 top priority. It's over anything. My grandparents always tell me, please get a job before you even get married or even date. Some certain things that I wanted to do when I was in high school, my parents just didn't believe in it, or they're just like, no, that's unnecessary. So those things would come into factor, but I always found a way to go around and did what I needed to do to get where I wanted to be. Obviously, when I'm at home, I treat my parents a little bit differently than when I'm out, just so it can fit in. But with my beliefs and stuff, I believe most of how I was raised growing up in America, just because I can really relate to most of those beliefs. So I merged the two by still sticking to my roots, knowing that I can't completely lose them, but also keeping in touch with my American side as well. When we're at home, we're not really allowed to speak English when we were younger, just because my grandpa always had the fear of having one of his grandchildren not knowing Vietnamese, because that is our roots, so he doesn't like the idea of being Vietnamese and not speaking Vietnamese. I don't know why, but I have a very good memory of this because I used to have a friend. She used to do my homework just because I didn't understand English, but with that, I had help and assistance because they offered like ESOL at the time, but now they call it ELL. So that's when I developed my English language speaking, but it wasn't too much of a barrier just because I believe that I was younger at the time, so it didn't really affect me as much, and it helped with my siblings because I was the oldest, so that got them to speak English much better than what I had to go through when I was younger. There's always a lot of stereotypes. There's always stereotypes saying all Asians are supposed to be smart. I actually had to work harder than most Asian kids that I encounter, because I have met Asians who are super smart, but then there's also Asians who, you know, had to do an extra step just to be where they want to be. And with my parents, they always told me the American lifestyle isn't the best way to go, just because like you can fall apart easily because you're always caught up in your dream. But I don't truly believe in that, just because your dream is where it sets your goal. So if you keep following your dream, you'll meet that goal eventually. So I'm currently on my 4th year in college and I'm ready to graduate. After college, I'm gonna go back to school to get my nurse practitioner, which I want to be one day. So that's my big career goal. And then the other goals like starting a family, traveling, finding fur babies. So yeah. I believe immigrants are kind of the roots of this country, just like most people are, because it's like a big melting pot. So people have different parts that they partake in to make America the way it is. So I respect immigrants because they chose to like leave their home country to travel all the way over here just to have better future for their children. Like my parents are immigrants, so I'm an example of that. How they're treated to a certain extent, like I see my parents working, sometimes they're not treated as well as they should be just because their English isn't as great. So I find speaking could be a barrier, but I know that most immigrants, or especially my parents, push to do their best just so they can make their name different, because people don't really respect immigrants.